Hello everyone, I'm back and I am moving into the shop. And my landlord was nice enough to loan me his aluminum trailer, so that helped a lot because I had to move the aluminum chassis and the suspension pieces. Back of the truck's full of stuff. The shop is full of stuff. I've got to get some shelves and stuff. Walk around here. And here is the aluminum cross member for the C5 rear suspension with the uprights. You can see it's a complete standalone unit. Previously it was underneath the chassis. It doesn't fit, it needs some modification, so this is loose. So this is what it looks like all by itself. And I put the wheels and tires on there so that I can roll it around. It does roll around, but it always wants to go forwards or backwards, so it'd be nice if I put an outrigger and a third wheel on it. Not sure if I'll go through the trouble. It needs to be cleaned up. This has not been treated with aluminum on the brightener on the bottom. But I think this one has on the top. Yeah. You see there's the bright aluminum, and then this is the not bright aluminum. So I plan on doing that. I need to order a new hose for my power washer because the existing one has a hole in it. Here is the front suspension, and one of the uprights is missing. It should be on its way later this week. I was hoping to get it by now, but not. So I just used a ratcheting strap to pull that up so that I can move it. These things are really heavy. All right, let's see what else. Oh, and so here is the front end for the C6 to C2 conversion. This is not the Grand Sport, this is just for a regular C2. You can see the headlights have the pockets of a standard C2, the turn signals and all of that. This one was a splash I did just for a test fit. In hindsight, it's kind of dumb. I should have really done it for real, but this was way back when I just cut the molds and I wanted to experiment. And anyway, it's kind of functional, kind of not. It really needs reinforcement, and I would probably have to put it back into the mold and reinforce it, kind of clamp it in place. Could do that. Not sure it's worth the effort. Anyway. And then I am making a splash of the Grand Sport hood. The reason I'm doing this is because when I was at the Street Rod Nationals, I met a guy that owns a company that makes billet aluminum grills. And I told him, you know what? This Grand Sport has some sheet metal grills, and while they're functional, I don't consider them very impressive. Could I get some out of billet aluminum milled? And he said, sure, make me a splash of the vent area, and then I will make the vents, billet vents, so that they fit. The problem is, the way these mount is you cut slots in this part that extends right here, and then this slides into the slot and you put bolts in there, and I don't know, it's kind of hinky if you ask me. And that also means that every hood has to be cut with slots at the right angle. I'm trying to make this a better process, and again, I just don't think those are very high end. I think they're kind of low end. Anyway, I had a guy come and help me. I've got some kids that had said they really want to come work for me, so we're giving them a try. The first one showed up today, and I taught him how to apply mold release. I had another kid go and wax the mold. It shouldn't have needed it because it's a new mold and it's only had a couple of parts pulled from it. But I've learned better safe than sorry, so I had him put 5 coats of wax on it. I was going to have this kid do another couple coats, but I can't find the wax in all of this mess. So instead, I just had him use the mold release. Here it is. It is the 1153 fiberglass fiber release. Stuff works great. So between that and the wax, I'm hoping this thing will just pop right out. So anyway, that's the gel coat that's on there now. I was teaching him how to brush on gel coat. So we're gonna let it cure for a little bit, and then we'll start the fiberglass when someone else shows up. My goal is to show someone how to do everything that I'm doing so that I'm not the only one that knows how to do it. All right, I think that's it. There's the engine. That's a 351 that's been bored out to 427. I went to put it on the engine stand, which is sitting over there, the orange thing. And the bolts, the guy that was helping me didn't think the bolts were right. They're 3/8 inch bolts that I have because that's what small block Chevys use, and I just assumed this used 3/8 as well. Does anyone know if this is a bigger bolt hole here than 3/8? I agree with him. When I put the bolt in there, you could wiggle the bolt up and down. It did screw in, so the thread pitch seemed to be right, but of course that would really suck to put a 3/8 bolt if it was like a 5/16, if it required a 5/16. And the motor with all of the accessories is going to be pretty heavy. I could easily see it pulling the threads out if I use the wrong size bolt. So if anyone knows for sure, I'm going to Google it, but I didn't yet. It's on my to-do list. I've got so many things on my to-do list. I don't even know how I ever get caught up. On the gel coat, excuse me, I'm not sure he put it on thick enough, but I did show him how and kind of let him on his own. I'm one of those that, look, I'll show you how to do it, and if you want to do it my way, great, and if you want to do it your own way, great. Well, he kind of did it his own way. Part of me wants to go back in and put another coat on here just to be safe, but then the other part wants me to leave it and see if his way worked okay. He more brushed it. I specifically said don't brush it, and then when I was watching every once in a while, he was actually brushing it on there. Not a big deal, I hope. We'll find out. And the good thing is this is a non-critical part. I'm shipping it off. I will probably cut it into pieces so it'll be cheaper to ship. What I found out is when things get this big to ship, the shipping companies get obscene on their prices. Doesn't matter, it doesn't weigh anything. They strictly go by the size. So I could cut this down the middle or and send him half of it as far as that goes. I don't think he needs 2 of them, but anyway, we'll see. I'll call him. The other thing, he's also going to make a grill for me. So I've got to have that waxed and mold release put on the front grill area and then send that to him as well. All right, that's pretty much all I've got. I've got to get busy and unload all of this because this is not the only load. I've got several loads to go, and I kind of need to get the trailer back as soon as possible. So, like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to, and if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.